Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has joined world leaders in the G7 summit, hoping to tackle issues like the Russian war on Ukraine. Joining me now is Morgan Chalfant. She is the White House correspondent for The Hill. Good to see you. Ukraine, obviously at the top of the agenda at the G7 summit. What's come out of there so far?
So there have been a number of announcements that the White House has touted this morning. For example, the nations agreeing to ratchet up tariffs on Russian goods, agreeing to support Ukraine for the long haul, also agreeing to step in and help out with Ukraine's budgetary shortfalls and supply economic assistance. And they're also working towards this idea of a global oil price cap on Russian oil in order to cut down the revenues that Russia is getting from its sales of oil and gas. Now, of course, that's not something that's solidified yet, but they're certainly working towards getting an agreement and endorsing something like that they would have to work through the mechanisms of actually figuring out how that would work.
And it's a tricky balance, right? Because the goal is to sustain Ukraine, but also to ease economic hardship here at home politically. What's the balance?
Right. So the steps that the president has taken to support Ukraine and to punish Russia as well have pretty broad bipartisan support, strong support in the country. I think where the issue is the disruption to the global energy markets, both from the war itself and also some of the penalties and the efforts by European countries and the U.S. to not be reliant on Russian energy. So what you're seeing the president doing is trying to find ways to find alternative sources. For example, next month he'll be going to Saudi Arabia as part of a broader trip to the Middle East to meet with leaders there. It's a controversial trip because he'll be meeting with the Saudi crown prince, and possibly a trip that wouldn't have happened if there wasn't this balance in this issue with the energy prices.
And President Zelenskyy made an appeal. He's hoping the war will end by the end of the year. Do we have any indication as to whether the G7 leaders seem to think that's a realistic goal?
So from the White House point of view, they're very careful about actually laying out a prediction, right? They've said, warned that this could go on for months and that they're trying to support Ukraine for a long period of time. What they want to do is really supply Ukraine with enough assistance so that it's in a strong position once they do get to the negotiating table with the Russians. U.S. officials have said numerous times that's what they think is going to eventually happen, that Ukraine and Russia are going to have to work this out to bring an end to the war, in negotiations. But of course, there's no sign of that actually happening anytime soon.
Sadly, the U.S. has committed $54 billion to Ukraine. How much are the other members of the G7 giving?
So the U.S. is by far the largest contributor. I don't have the exact number of what other members are committing, but for example, I think there was a United Kingdom package recently that was over $1 billion. But the U.S. really gives quite a bit to Ukraine. And of course, we saw Congress in bipartisan fashion a couple of weeks ago authorize that $40 billion package for Ukraine. That's economic assistance, humanitarian assistance, and of course, security assistance. And that's what the president is now pulling from when he announces these tranches of security aid to the Ukrainians.
All right, Morgan, thank you for helping break it down for us.
Thanks for having me.
And we have.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.